Hello everyone, I am Casey the Gamer, and it's time for another game review. This time, I'm taking a look at Wolverine for the NES. Wolverine was developed by Software Creations, later known as Acclaim Studios Manchester, and it was published by the infamous LJN. The game released in North America in October 1991. Wolverine is a game where you play as the popular X-Men character, Wolverine. And Wolverine just so happens to be my favorite superhero of all time. I distinctly remember when my parents got the game, long after it released, because I would have only been a few months old when it originally came out. Anyway, I was excited to play it because I love Wolverine, and I remember kind of enjoying it as a kid despite the difficulty. But you know how things are when you're a kid. So let's take a closer look at Wolverine for the NES. Wolverine is captured by Magneto and Sabertooth and stranded on a deserted island. Wolverine works his way through the area, battling enemies and avoiding traps while being taunted by Sabertooth throughout the game. Wolverine eventually defeats Magneto and then defeats Sabertooth, and that's it. It's all very bare bones. Wolverine and some of the other X-Men then just leave the island. Game over. Wolverine is a 2D action platformer game. Wolverine can run, jump, punch, kick, and use his powerful adamantium claws. You can decide when to use your claws or not with the push of a button. And the biggest downside is that when you use your claws, you lose health, which honestly is incredibly stupid. Seriously, one of the things that Wolverine is most known for, and it penalizes you for using them? And if your health gets too low, you can't use them anymore until you replenish your health. Just mind-boggling, really. But I guess at least you can't die from using them. There is a Berserker mode that you get when you build up the Berserker bar by killing enemies. It's kind of hard to fill up though because you'll lose progress when you take damage. But if you get it filled all the way up, the claws come out, and Wolvie is invincible for a limited time. Try to enjoy it because it's really the only time the game is any kind of fun. Speaking of taking damage, you're going to take damage a lot. Between all of the enemies and all of the traps, you're going to be hurting. The worst part when it comes to taking damage is that there are no invincibility frames at all. So if you get stuck on an enemy or an enemy keeps running into you or whatever, they can drain your health bar in no time at all, which is totally just super fun. There are health pickups in the shape of burgers or bottles of alcohol, soda, juice, something. It's apparently called a power potion according to the manual. But that still doesn't make up for all the damage you're going to take. You can also pick up 1-ups throughout the game, which is definitely going to come in handy. If you lose all of your lives, you only get one continue before it's game over. And I imagine that you're going to die a lot. I sure as hell did. There are a total of 9 stages in this game, and they're seriously all just a bunch of bullshit. Full of pain-in-the-ass enemies and traps. Literally everything wants to kill you. I think as a kid, I only ever made it to stage 4, and then I would die and lose all of my lives and continue. It's rough. There's only 2 bosses in the game, Magneto and Sabertooth. You fight Magneto at the end of stage 8, and you have to destroy his barrier and then hit him a couple of times for him to retreat. And then stage 9 is just the fight with Sabertooth. But instead of it being a normal boss fight where you just get to beat him up, you have to hit him enough times in a certain direction to knock him off the cliff. Of course it couldn't just be a normal boss fight. So congratulations! After beating Sabertooth in his annoying-ass boss battle, you've beaten this travesty of a game, and you never have to play it again. Apparently, you can find the other X-Men in the stages, such as Psylocke, Jubilee, and Havok. I never found any of them once, so that's cool. I was mostly just trying to make a beeline for the exit so I could get it over with as quickly as possible. So, yeah. I think you're actually able to play as Havok though, which does give Wolverine some time to heal. But yeah, the gameplay just doesn't feel great at all. Everything feels stiff and janky, and then just the whole thing about being hurt when you use your claws, to the no invincibility frames and the traps and the bottomless pits, make it a very frustrating experience overall. The graphics for this one are pretty not great. Like, they're okay, I suppose. The character sprites aren't the best. The backgrounds can be decent on some stages. The only things I think actually look pretty good is the character art in the few cutscenes and Wolverine's portrait at the bottom of the screen. The sound effects are okay. They serve their purpose, but nothing really stands out about them. Something that is a positive for this game: the soundtrack is actually pretty good. I love the music in this game. However, the big downside there is that there isn't very much of it. There's only a few different songs. Like, I think there's only 2 different stage themes. They just alternate between them, but they are very good. So kudos to the music department. I just wish there was more variety. And that is Wolverine for the NES. Wolverine has definitely had far better outings in the video game world. This game is just crap, and it's definitely not one that I can recommend at all. It's far more frustrating than fun, which obviously doesn't lead to a good time. I'll definitely have to review one of the good Wolverine games next time. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And if you want to see more of me, you can catch me streaming all kinds of stuff over on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/CaseyTheGamer91. And I also have a Patreon where you can get perks like early video access and some other cool stuff. And that is patreon.com/CaseyTheGamer91. You can find both of those links and all of my other links in the description below. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to catch you next time. Peace out.